Hey, this is Chris with the Hypercats Network, and I had to take this outside. It's snowing, kind of crappy, but I wanted to make sure I had some good natural lighting for this video. There's little differences in the colors that are pretty subtle, and all of my lighting inside has more of an amber hue to it. Basically what I've been doing lately is playing with different tints, different colored pigment tints and opacities with resin casting Smooth Cast 325, and this is the kind of effect you can get just by adding a single colored pigment. You can see you can even, read text through it. It's pretty clear, doesn't have any air bubbles, so it looks pretty good. So I have that in a couple colors. That was just the red, this is just the blue. But I started adding something that's a white pigment. It's actually sort of an opaque pigment in that it adds sort of a chalkiness to the actual resin. So you're not able to see all the way through it. So it makes it more opaque, and these are a couple different colors, a couple different grades of opacity. This one you can almost read through just a little bit, but it still gives it, some depth to it and a lack of clarity that solid colors with no white pigment would give you. So it does affect how light from behind it reflects through it. So here we have no white pigment, just the red pigment through clear resin. This is the blue. But then if you start adding a white opacity to it, check this out. Now this is a little bit dimmer, a little bit more subtle, but you still have that hot point where the white LED is. And then a little bit more. I can't really even see these during the day. These you can see better in dark conditions, but you can just kind of barely see it there on the edges. And then with more white pigment. So that gives you an opportunity to create other resin cast pieces that might not look as good with a direct hot light behind them like this. So if I wanted something glowing like the old Devil May Cry amulet and I wanted it to kind of glow, I might be able to throw a little bit of the white pigment in just to sort of diffuse this hot point. Oh, something fell over in the basement. And these are for Virgil's amulet. These are test pieces. I'm actually making a better gemstone right now. It's a little more accurate. But these are the colors that I'm playing around with, and I'm really liking this shade right now. This is straight blue, and this has a little bit of blue and just a hint of the white. And then this is more green and more green, so they're more of an aqua color. But I think this is probably what I'm going to go with. Something like this color. Because it's still blue, but it still has a little bit of a cyan color to it. And then I'll probably sand it and rough up the edges. You can kind of see it on this one. It's hard to see now that it's wet. Yeah, you can't see it at all now that it's wet. If you sand the edges and scratch it up, it gives you that opacity that you would get like this, but only on the sanded edges. But the problem is if you fill it with anything, get it wet, or put a clear coat on it, all that disappears. So, if you get a chance, you can buy a sample kit of Smooth On pigments, and it's, I think, 12 different colors. One of them is the white, and then there's a flesh and a brown, which are kind of cool. But you can get that, and I use just the tiniest little toothpick point of resin. I have a bottle of black that I've been using for probably 5 years now. So if you buy a 2-ounce bottle, or ounce and a half or whatever it is, and it's 14 bucks, yeah, it's expensive, but it lasts a long time. So check out the sample kit on smoothon.com, or I actually use Reynolds. It's a different website because they're closer and they ship faster. But check that out. This is Smooth Cast 325, and then the pigment stuff, I'll put a link to that too so you guys can play around with that. See you next time.